Good morning. Arrived safely at Mum's last night, driving off the boat. A little nervous whether my car would break down. Kind of regret not bringing my husband's car, truthfully. It was getting dark by the time I got here, or starting to. But yeah, drove along to Mum's, which didn't take too long. And just settled in and had some nice homemade soup and some cheese and potato bread. And then we finished off with sharing a bottle of beer between us last night, but I think we were both pretty tired. This morning we're heading off into town, so it's still fairly early, not as early as my hair's still wet. I didn't bring my hairdryer because I thought Mum had one, but she hasn't because hers blew up. But I didn't bring mine because I blew the fuse on it trying to dry those drawer fronts off yesterday. And John replaced the fuse and I could have brought it, but I didn't, so my hair is wet. I'm going to be going out with wet hair. So we're going to the town, and it's a fair drive from here, and then I would like to get some bits of Christmas shopping, possibly. Just, you know, like stocking filler type things that you can't get over on the island. The island's really good for shopping. You can get anything you want pretty much, but your range is limited for certain things. So I'm not sure what that was. So there's certain items that kind of you just can't get. You can get most of what you want, and anything you can't get you can usually buy online and get delivered, but certain things it's better to just see in person. So, and if you go to B&M, they have that Australian chocolate that John really likes. I could get some of that for stocking fillers for Christmas. So that's the plan for this morning. No idea what we're doing this afternoon. It's pretty murky out there. It's not lashing down, but it's just really damp. So I think it'll be fairly chill. There'll be no walks along forest walks and beach walks or anything like that today. So, see you in a bit. We had a fair run into town, and I did get a few pieces. I couldn't get the Australian chocolate I was really looking forward to getting for John. Mum said, or she hadn't told me until we were actually in the shop, they haven't had any for a while, which is really disappointing, but what can you do? But I did pick up a few bits and pieces, mostly in B&M actually. The funny thing about Orkney is we don't really have like a shop that sells everything, but it's like a discount shop, if you understand, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure what an equivalent would be further south or over the water, in like America or wherever. But it kind of sells all kind of, everything from kind of home paint, like decorating paint, to flat pack furniture, but also things like food and chocolates and decor stuff like lamps and candles and all. Basically it sells a bit of everything, but it's kind of a discount store at the same time. We don't have anything like that on the island, so one of the first places people want to go when they come off the island is either B&M or Home Bargains or something very similar, where you can kind of get that middle of the range bits and pieces that you can't get in, say, the pound shop, where you get the really cheap odds and ends and bits and bobs like batteries and such like, or you've got the fancier shops in Orkney as well, but there isn't really one of those middle of the range kind of shops. So it's kind of one of those places that everyone wants to go to whenever they're off island. But I did get some bits. I got some stocking fillers that I can't show in case whoever's receiving them will see it on camera, you know, bits of chocolate and things like that to put aside for Christmas. But I did get some bits that I can show, and this is not one of those look what I bought in Home Bargains kind of haul thing, but I'll just show you a few bits that I picked up. So I have a thing for wreaths. I have 2 homemade autumn wreaths that get pulled out every year, and 2, maybe 3 Christmas ones. But I saw this one, which is all it's going to focus on is my face, and it's supposed to be a winter one, but I would say it's an autumn into winter. And it's got little fir cones and like dried twigginess, and it's also got these little cotton balls, and it also has a few kind of metallic sprigs as well, but they're not over the top and they're not over the, you know, in your face gaudy. Oh, I'm all out of focus. I get really jealous when I see, not jealous, envious, when I see the decor items for like Christmas and Halloween that you can get over in the States. I mean, there's a lot of kind of cutesy and cheesy stuff, but there's also some really nice pieces like dried flowers and nice silk flowers. But I think it's really hard to get some really nice ones in the UK. And whenever like the Christmas store in like the garden centre, and they bring out all the, you know, the fall Christmas foliage, like the berry sprigs and things like that, we seem to have this thing in the UK where they think, oh, isn't that nice, some nice berry sprigs, tell you what that's missing, throw some glitter on it. Or, oh, that's a nice sprig of like ferns or something, you know what's missing there? 4 water droplets. Or let's throw some glitter on that too. Or how about some metallic spray paint? It feels like there's no realistic, really nice realistic stuff that hasn't had, oh, it's missing some golden glitter spray on there, let's chuck some on. It's really frustrating. But this, it has some metallic-y bits, but they're not really like, wow, this is Christmas, let's throw some sparkle on it. So I got that. I think how much was that? That was £15, which I think is pretty good. And I will be putting this up. I can use this for, I would say, 6 months of the year happily, and I will, to be perfectly honest, I'd be quite happy to have this up all year round. In fact, this would look lovely in my craft room all year round, which I think I might just do. My husband has his den. I've probably shown it briefly in different snippets. It's like this dark cosy green, mid-toned wood, very, what they call these days, mid-century modern, which my husband hates that term, but basically means kind of 60s 70s feel. And it's got like the wood panelling, what have you. And he loves all that kind of 60s vintage style. He always has from when he was a kid. And I saw this and I thought he is going to love that in his room at Christmas. This little vintage car. And these lights are supposed to light up. It hasn't got batteries in at the moment. I'm not sure what batteries it takes actually. AAA, it takes 2 AAA batteries. And these little fairy lights light up. So that'll be very cute, and will go on his dresser sideboard thing that he got recently. So I got that. Keeping with the little woodland or vintage kind of woodland theme, I also got this fabulous deer stag. These fabulous horns going on there. I'm not entirely sure what type of deer it is supposed to be, but it is a deer, and it is resin, I believe. So as long as these don't get knocked off, because I have some smaller gold ones that go on my living room mantelpiece, and the antlers on one of them got broken off. I have managed to fix them with super duper super glue. That super duper super glue that holds up to cold temperature and hot temperature and seems to glue everything, even though it takes a while to set. But it's done okay. But this, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. I have a few options, but I saw it, loved it, bought it. I also got Christmas mugs. I have a thing for mugs. Whenever I go on holiday, I buy mugs. It's kind of become a bit of a joke, but I'm being very careful with them because I have glass baubles in here I'm going to show. But I got one in red with snowflakes and one in this lovely blue-green with snowflakes too. And they're a nice square chunky one, kind of good for hot chocolate. And I also bought, it's jingling, making a noise, 3 of these amber glass baubles. Last year I rejigged around which decorations went on which trees in the house, because we have 1, 2, 3 trees. We have one big real one in the living room, and we have John has a silver tinsel vintage style one in his den, and there is a small sort of 3-foot one that used to go in his den, which now goes in my craft room. I tell you, there's also a little wee one that we got from IKEA a few years ago, and it's a full one as well, and it's kind of like a spindly one, almost like I'd like to say a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but since I've only ever watched Charlie Brown's Christmas once, and I don't have any sort of like connection to the Charlie Brown Christmas thing. I didn't grow up watching Charlie Brown's Christmas. I don't know why, because I'm of that kind of age when it would have been on the TV, but for some reason I didn't. Maybe they didn't show it in the UK, I don't know. So we watched it a few years ago, and I was like, I must be too old. It has no nostalgia for me. But anyway, it's kind of that spindly, thin spindly, and it's really nice, and it's only sort of 2 foot high, and it sits on the side bench in the kitchen. It's a little Christmas one, and I put little dried orange slices on it. But anyway, the big tree in the living room used to have well, when we first used to decorate it, it had dusky pink and gold decorations on it, and then we both decided that we kind of missed the nostalgia of like red and green and gold, so it had red and gold ones on. And I haven't chucked any decorations, they just get moved around the house into different locations, so we had red and gold on the Christmas tree. And then when we did some decorating in the living room last year, so the room has a different, we finally got around to picking what sort of feel we wanted in there, whereas we just decorated it basically when we'd first renovated it. We just kind of painted it cream and what have you, and we'd get round to it eventually. We kind of settled on a feel for the room last year and put a few decorating elements in there, and I changed up the decorations on the tree in there. So I pulled some from other rooms in the house and changed them around, so they've kind of got more of kind of the vintagey colours, but kind of subtly so. And these are going to look fabulous in there, because we do have some amber glass. We have like an amber glass vase and some ornaments and bits and pieces. It's kind of got that kind of, it's almost got a slight kind of mid-century modern feel in there, but not over the top. So the amber glass is going to look lovely. So I bought 3 of these for our Christmas tree, and I'm being careful because I am notoriously clumsy when it comes to anything, and for years I refrained from buying glass, but we have accumulated a few little glass ones, and so far they've held up okay. So I bought 3 of those, and they were only £2 each actually, and they're really, really pretty. I think £2 is roughly, to be perfectly honest, the equivalent of around $2. So they're really nice, and that says they are glass. So, and I also on the amber glass, make sure they don't roll off the bed. I also bought a candle as well, which it's apparently white, amber and patchouli. Now my mum has a candle that's supposed to be this scent as well, and we both have a laugh because it doesn't smell like white amber or patchouli. I'm not entirely sure what white amber would smell like, but it doesn't smell like patchouli, which is a good thing because I find patchouli overpowering. But I didn't buy it for the candle inside. I mean, I will use the candle inside, but once this candle's been used, I will put my own candle in there, because I thought the amber glass with a tea light or a small candle would look really pretty with the light shining through. So that'll go in the living room as a decor piece, not just to use as the candle. Other things I bought, I did buy some daffodil bulbs, some narcissi, and I bought some tulip bulbs, but they're kind of packed away. And like, just bits and pieces. I bought some I can't see what chocolates I bought. I did buy 2 bars of something called Cherry Ripe, which I have never had before, but about a week ago John was I think he must have been listening to the radio while he was away, and they'd been interviewing Natalie Imbruglia from Australia, and she lives in the UK, I believe, or if she doesn't, she certainly did, and she was saying about the things she was pleased she could now get order online that are from Australia that she couldn't get before. And she mentioned this cherry chocolate bar thing. He was talking about it, but he couldn't remember the name. And so when I was in Home Bargains, I saw these chocolate bars called Cherry Ripe, and it's supposed to be cherry and coconut covered in dark chocolate. So I bought a couple of them and I asked him, I sent him a photo and said, is this what he says he thinks they are? So they had to take home as well. But other than that, oh, and I bought like a set of 3 wooden drawers for the bathroom. Bear with me. And a cushion. There. 3 drawer thing for the bathroom. And I think that was £20. But our bathroom hasn't got a lot of storage because eventually, well, it's the main bathroom, but when we finish renovating, we'll have like an ensuite bathroom as well. So most of the kind of our like smellies, you know, like shower gels and stuff will go in there. So in the bathroom we're using now, it hasn't got a lot of storage because it's not really designed to store all our personal smelly stuff. So I bought that too. So yeah, it's been a good shopping trip. I still haven't managed to get a big mantelpiece mirror. I'm on the lookout for a mantelpiece mirror that's just right for our living room. Can't get one on the island at the moment. I have an idea where I could maybe find out if I can order one to be delivered. Just come to me. Might be able to get one at, can't remember what the shop is called, but there's a shop where usually you can order your lighting and stuff to be delivered there. So maybe it's a bit to do that. Good job I just thought of that. But yes, really struggling to get a mantle mirror and I couldn't get one. But you know, I'll wait. It's fine. It's fine. There's no rush. So yes, now I'm going to do a little bit of knitting. I am close to finishing the second sock of this pair of socks that I'm doing. I'd like to get that finished by tomorrow because I'm itching to cast on a very Halloween-y pair as well. So I shall speak to you tomorrow.